Well, it may have been a cloudy Sunday, but that didn't stop families from gathering outdoors and enjoying Beaver Lake. 5 News reporter Bo Russell was able to tag along with park rangers and talk to them about the work they do to keep everyone safe, especially for Labor Day weekend.
Hey, I'm here at Beaver Lake. I'm with Emily Phillips, who's been kind enough to take us out here on the lake. You're with park rangers. And so can you tell us a little bit about what's going on today?
Yeah, so we're out today doing safety checks with the vessels that are out on the water. So that pretty much entails, pulling up to people and having them show me a life jacket for each person on board, making sure that all the kids under the age of 14 have their life jackets on, as well as checking for their throwable devices on their vessels.
And for anyone who's planning on coming out, for the weekend today or for the rest of the summer, can you give a little advice about what they should bring or not bring when they come out here?
Yeah, absolutely. So number one thing, we always encourage everyone to bring your life jacket. Statistically, life jackets do save lives. So that's the number one thing we always encourage people to bring when they're coming out. Have a boat plan for where you're going to be, let someone know what you're doing, and just be really aware of your surroundings. On these holiday weekends, there can be a lot of other boaters out. Some people may not be as experienced. So just really being aware of what everybody else is doing out there, and making sure you're operating safe as well.
Great. Emily, thank you so much. Guys, we had a chance to talk to some families who the weather didn't scare off. They're still out here having a great time. We'll have more of that tonight at 10 at Beaver Lake, covering news where you live. I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.
Looks like so much fun. Thanks, Bo. Well, a major outage left Verizon customers across the country without service for part of this Labor Day weekend. At least 22,000 outages were reported across the company's cell phone network yesterday. Most who lost service saw their phones display an SOS or SOS only message at the top of their screen. The cities most affected included New York City, Boston, Tampa, Miami, and Chicago. Verizon says the outage was due to a software issue. Well, this Labor Day weekend, the Trump administration is under scrutiny for a push to place federal troops on the streets of Chicago and for recent firings and resignations at the CDC. Willie James Inman has the latest from the White House.
This Labor Day weekend, the Trump administration is facing pushback for a plan to send federal troops into Chicago in response to violent crime. On Sunday's Face the Nation, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says troops don't belong on the streets of the Windy City.
Murders are down 50% in the city of Chicago. National Guard troops, any kind of troops on the streets of an American city don't belong unless there is an insurrection.
But Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem defended the administration's push to cut crime.
For 13 consecutive years, Chicago had more murders than any other American city.
The Trump administration is also coming under scrutiny after firing the director of the CDC. Director Susan Menarez's firing was followed by the resignation of 4 other high-profile CDC leaders. CBS News medical contributor Celine Gowder says the departures have created a vacuum in U.S. medical leadership.
These are really key positions, not to mention that a lot of the directors of the different centers, because it's centers plural, have also been forced out over the last several months. So you're really dealing with a leadership vacuum at the CDC.
Gowder also expressed concern about recent vaccine policy changes from the CDC.
Vaccine policy is now being made by political fiat and communicated through social media rather than a transparent, open scientific review process. And so we're seeing the reversal of previous recommendations, which will also confuse whether insurance will cover certain vaccines for certain people.
On Friday, one senior White House advisor defended Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., calling him, quote, the crown jewel of the administration. Willie James Inman, CBS News, the White House.
Today marks 28 years since the death of Princess Diana. To mark the occasion, a hospital in London opened up a time capsule that was left there by her. 2 children who won the contest helped her pick out the items for the capsule. Some of those items included a solar-powered calculator, British coins, a European passport, and a picture of Diana. The Times reports the box had suffered some water damage, but the items were mostly intact. The Benton County Veterans Services says it's looking for World War II veterans. It's an effort to recognize and honor them and their surviving spouses at the county's Veterans Day ceremonies coming up in November. Melody Kwok with the county says it's very important for them to honor as many of these veterans as they can right now.
It is very unfortunate that we are losing more and more of these veterans every single day. And we just want to take a moment to appreciate their service and dedication to our country. But we are also going to recognize all veterans. We welcome all veterans to this ceremony with just a special portion dedicated to those World War II veterans and their surviving spouses.
If you know of a World War II veteran in Benton County, Kwok says you can call the County Veteran Services Office at the number on your screen before the end of September. An Arkansas foster care organization is partnering with a technology company to help more kids find permanent homes. The Answer Foster Care teamed up with the software company Binti to make the application process for foster and adoptive parents easier and more efficient. Company leaders say the platform streamlines paperwork with the goal of making more parents available to foster.
What we try to do is make it really user-friendly for the family. So instead of applying on paper, they can apply online on their computer or even on their mobile phone, and they can just fill out the application online.
The Answer is the first organization in Arkansas to use the software. Tonight at 10, 5 News reporter Claire Everbach will share how this partnership is impacting children in the foster system. It's the largest fundraising effort by the Alzheimer's Association for research, and that event needs teams. We're talking about the Walk to End Alzheimer's in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas. The event in Fort Smith is set for September 20th at the Arkansas Colleges for Health Education at Chaffee Crossing. Nicole Press is with the Arkansas Alzheimer's Association and says the success of each walk event depends on how many teams take part.
You all live within those communities. You know the people that live there. You know how that community is being impacted by the disease. So we really just can't make it happen without the volunteers. And then the rest of the community getting involved, because we can plan and plan and plan all day, but if the community doesn't show up to support, then the walk doesn't happen. So we really rely on people getting out and moving our mission forward so that we can make a change across the state.
The Northwest Arkansas Walk to End Alzheimer's is set for October 11th. To register a team for either walk, head to act.alz.org.